Fire Force Season 3 was one of them ones. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see enough people talking about it. I saw 2 videos on YouTube, so I had to put on the belt like I was the father of the household, and I had.
Fire Force is a good anime. Let's get that out of the way immediately, because this conversation gets derailed the moment people assume criticism equals hate. Fire Force is stylish, ambitious, and packed with some of the best animation and sound design in modern shonen. But here's the problem. Good does not automatically mean masterpiece, and Fire Force fans have been trying to skip that conversation for years. Like and subscribe, let's get into it.
The realm soul is like the god of that realm. Something like that.
Young whippersnapper, there's only one person I must serve, and that's soul.
Unc, you gotta lay off the cigs, they not good for you.
Nah, I know you not talking about no cigarettes.
Hey y'all, shut up, I just downloaded the new 2K27, I'm finna green this kill. Shinra straight dashes in and misses the spin kick on Burns. He then follows up to a block, and there all my hope goes. Shinra is cooked, I've seen enough. Burns then gives Shinra a mean left hook to the face, and him flying back looking like a deflated balloon falling out the sky. But then Shinra starts moving crazy, doing all this just to do 0 damage to Captain Burns. Shinra then hits the ground and starts spinning like the valve on a spigot for absolutely no reason, by the way. He's doing all this just for the clip. He then flies to the top of the building looking like he's a hawk coming down for his prey, and he hits a spin move kick to do no damage.
Wolfang feast from Yamcha would have done more damage, boy.
I'm sick to my stomach. He hit Shinra with a WWE move, sending this man on the ground, and he hits a little bounce. And there's no way dude recovers from this. I lie, he dashes right back in, but hits a kick for no damage. So should he even have recovered here? Nah, I lied again. He pulls out the devil hand sign, the sign Obi taught him, and he summons a literal demon. The demon chomps Burns, but guess what? Burns reflects the demon. It did actually nothing. This dude needs to just put the code up at this point. It's over. But Shinra manages to weave the force palm and kicks this man clean in his head, yet he doesn't even budge. This man's solid like a wall. He then punches this man in the face, sending him into a wall. And Joker's just back here spectating like it's the Fortnite World Cup, talking about an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. This fight will never end. Till Shinra hits him with the devil again, but this man gets grabbed and slammed on the ground like Hope. Captain Burns takes him ballroom dancing because they're just spinning around, but Shinra's like, I bet. And he speeds that junk up a little, and he can't control the spinning. And I can't comprehend what's going on here, but I'm assuming Shinra is just missing every attack because he gets slammed straight into the ground and he has to retreat. Shinra dashes in for the 20th time just to do no damage. He gets his next attack blocked. He gets punched in the face, then he gets picked up by his hair. Burns starts using him as a speed bag, bro. It's absolutely tragic what's happening here. I don't know how he didn't pass out from this, but hey, that's that main character movement. He hits Burns with one of his devious smiles.
A masterpiece isn't just about looking good, it's about consistency, restraint, and execution. And that's where Fire Force starts to stumble. At its core, Fire Force has an incredible premise. A world where spontaneous human combustion turns people into living infernos? Firefighters who battle literal flames using superpowered abilities? That concept alone should have been unstoppable. And for brief moments, Fire Force feels like it's about to become something legendary. But then it doesn't. Because Fire Force can never decide what kind of story it wants to be. One moment, it's tackling religious corruption, systemic control, and the manipulation of truth. The next moment, it undercuts its own tension with slapstick comedy or fan service so aggressive it completely shatters immersion. A masterpiece knows when to hold back. Fire Force almost never does. The biggest issue isn't that Fire Force has fan service, it's that it deploys it at the worst possible times. Emotional stakes are constantly interrupted. Serious moments lose weight. Characters who should command respect are reduced to jokes mid-conflict. This isn't clever tonal contrast. It's tonal whiplash. And before anyone says that's just Okubo's style, style doesn't excuse sabotage. A masterpiece understands pacing. Fire Force doesn't. Shinra, as a protagonist, is another major sticking point. He's not terrible, but he's painfully safe. His motivation is noble, his moral compass never truly wavers, and his internal conflict rarely evolves beyond surface-level guilt and determination. He works as a shonen lead, but he doesn't challenge the audience. Compare that to protagonists in actual masterpieces, characters who grow in uncomfortable ways, whose beliefs are tested, fractured, and reshaped. Shinra mostly stays the same guy with better control over his flames, and that's fine. But it's not masterpiece writing. Fire Force also struggles with emotional follow-through. The series introduces heavy themes: death, faith, identity, control. but rarely allows them to breathe. Tragedy happens, but it's often rushed past to get to the next spectacle. Characters experience trauma, but the story rarely lingers long enough to explore its consequences. Instead, Fire Force leans on hype. And hype is powerful, but temporary. Spectacle is where Fire Force shines. The animation is elite. The sound design is arguably best in class. Every ignition feels heavy. Every impact hits hard. David Production absolutely delivered on the technical side. But visual excellence alone doesn't elevate a story to masterpiece status. If it did, every flashy anime would qualify. A masterpiece leaves you thinking after the episode ends. Fire Force often leaves you remembering how cool it looked, not how deeply it felt. Then there's the cast bloat. Fire Force introduces a massive roster of characters, many of whom are interesting in concept but underdeveloped in practice. Instead of deepening a smaller core cast, the story spreads itself thin. Characters show up, have a moment, then fade into the background. Again, good, not great. Fire Force wants to say something meaningful about belief systems, manufactured enemies, and societal control. But it constantly distracts itself. It wants to be profound and unserious at the same time, and rarely balances the two effectively. And this is where the masterpiece label really collapses. A masterpiece knows what it wants to be. Fire Force feels like a collection of great ideas competing for attention. That doesn't make it bad. It makes it frustrating, because the potential is obvious. There are moments, real moments, where Fire Force locks in, where the tone sharpens, the themes align, and the story hits with genuine impact. In those moments, you can see the masterpiece it could have been. But a masterpiece isn't defined by moments. It's defined by consistency. Fire Force never quite earns that title. Not because it fails, but because it settles. And that's why calling Fire Force a masterpiece feels dishonest. It's a strong series, a memorable one, a visually stunning one. But greatness isn't just about ambition, it's about discipline. Fire Force had the fire, it just didn't control the burn.